Hey, I just wanted you to know that while you've been in the hospital, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty to sign and submit your divorce papers for you. As of now, you are no longer my little Brian's wife anymore. I never want to see your face back at the house either, you little parasite. Wait, hold on. I'm confused. You're not serious about this, are you? Of course I am, and don't you go playing innocent about this. You've been in the hospital for days now. What could you possibly be doing for so long over there? I mean, do you have any idea the kind of trouble that you've been putting your family through? Actually, you're so thick that you probably don't. But I'm only in the hospital because I just finished giving birth to twins, no less. I mean, the doctors just cleared the children for visitors yesterday, and that was when you came to see them. Don't you remember? Of course I remember what I did yesterday. But what I want to know is why you think it's okay to laze around in a hospital bed all day. The whole house is just falling apart with you here to take care of it, and Brian is all alone too. How can you leave him to deal with all this by himself? But the doctor told me that she wanted me to stay in the hospital for a few more days so that they could monitor me. I mean, I did have to have a cesarean section after all, not to mention the fact that I have needed to get used to feeding both of those children. Besides, it's only been 3 days that I've been in the hospital. Is that really that bad? You really think it's normal to be in the hospital a whole 3 days after you've given birth? Please, I am not buying that one bit. You clearly just want an excuse to be lazy. That isn't true, though. I'm just trying to do what's best for my children and myself by obeying what the doctor tells me. And what about what your mother-in-law is telling you, huh? Because I'm telling you that you're basically abandoning your husband right now. You're forcing him to work and take care of the house while you just get to lie back and watch. You're a terrible wife, daughter-in-law, and I'm sure you're going to be a terrible mother. What has gotten into you? Why would you even say something like that to me? I swear to you that I am going to raise these children with all my heart. And if you must know, it was Brian's idea in the first place for me to stop working around the house for the time being. I don't care what you tell me. I know what is really going on here. And the fact is that even before you had kids, you were never that good of a wife anyways. How my son ever thought it would be a good idea to marry you, I really have no idea. You know what? I really don't even know why I pretend to act surprised when you treat me like this anymore. Did I ask you what you thought? No, I don't think so. So go ahead and keep all those thoughts to yourself. All this shows me is that you're a terrible wife who needs someone to train her. It's obvious you're like this because of your idiot parents. The apple clearly didn't fall far from the tree. Do not talk bad about my parents, Sandra. I am warning you. Who is talking about who? I'm just telling the truth. And the fact is that you'll never be anything more than you are now. A nobody. Was that clear enough for your tiny little brain to comprehend? Well, don't worry. I'll teach you how to be a good wife to my son. You probably got sick because you don't even know how to clean properly in the first place, and you've been putting on so much weight too. I mean, just how many sets of clothes are you going to go through? What are you talking about? I was not getting fat. I was literally pregnant with twins, and I don't see what that has to do with what we've been talking about at all. I thought I already told you that I don't care 2 bits what you think. You can't do anything right, so why should I listen to you? And don't even get me started on your cooking. It's just terrible. It is either way over-seasoned and disgusting, or there's barely any flavor at all. How can you be content feeding my son just that? Oh, my poor little Brian. Hasn't he already suffered enough being with you? Well, if you have a problem with my cooking, Brian was there in the kitchen helping me while I was pregnant. So if you want to talk about that, then you might as well talk to me and Brian about the food. I do not want to hear another excuse out of your freeloading mouth. Do not ever try to blame this on my precious son again. What did you just call me? You think that I'm a freeloader? I'm not wrong, am I? You've been making your husband do all the work for you, while you've barely done anything for the past few months. If that isn't freeloading, then I have no idea what is. But it's clear that you're nothing but a little leech on Brian's side. You're going to suck him dry and take him for as much as you can. No wonder he hasn't been coming home as much lately. It's because you've been keeping him too busy. This is all your way of trying to steal my son away from me, isn't it? Well, it's not going to work. I have no idea what you're talking about at all. This is not some kind of soap opera or something, though. You know that, right? And everything that Brian and I have done these past months, we've talked out between ourselves and have agreed to as a couple. I don't believe that. If that was true, then why isn't Brian coming home to visit me more? I mean, he does realize he's in line to inherit his father's business, right? He needs to come home more often to handle that, but he can't because he has a gold digger like you holding him back. Don't you have any sort of shame or guilt over how you're treating Brian? Sandra, I just don't know what to say to you anymore. I mean, I just can't understand how you view Brian and I. And can you please not tell bad jokes like that you sent our divorce papers for Brian and I? I really don't think that's funny, and I'm already stressed enough as it is, having just given birth. Maybe we should just talk more tomorrow and end things here for now. Excuse me? You think you can just walk away from me whenever you want? Who do you think you are, huh? Hello? Are you getting these messages? They are showing up as read, so I know that you can see them. Hey, I literally see that you're reading all of these, so the least you could do is answer me. Answer the phone when I call you, you ugly little worm of a woman! That's it. If you want to act this way, fine. But just know that you are nothing to me now. Do you understand? Why don't you just leave Brian and I alone and go back to your parents' house or something? Good morning, Sandra. I see that you called me several times very early this morning. Please do not do that. I don't think that you should be up that late. You need your sleep after all. Well, 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 if it isn't Kim, the Sleeping Beauty. I have actually been up for quite some time now. I just literally had my hands full with the twins, and I only got a chance to get back to you now. So anyways, I am going to just come out and say this, but you have got to stop trying to come in between Brian and I. This includes anything to do with divorce and certainly includes forging our signatures on divorce papers. Man, you really are slow. You haven't realized that it's way, way, way too late to be telling me that. I already did it! It's happened. It's all over. You and Brian are no longer even married. Well, Brian called the courthouse this morning and they said that they only had papers signed by him, not by me, though. Oh, drat! I was afraid just one person's signature wasn't going to be enough. I knew that I should have forged yours as well. Wait, so you mean you literally forged Brian's signature on those papers? Of course I did! But I should have done yours as well. You just seemed so stressed with the childbirth that I thought I would do it as a favor to you. I even broke into your house using your spare key so that I could find some of Brian's documents and copy his signature even better. Hold on a second. You broke into our house as well? You have got to be kidding me. I didn't break into anything. I used the spare key to my son's house to go in there and look for some papers. What judge would ever call doing that a crime? Besides, you're the stupid one for trusting me enough to tell me where the key is. So, this is all really your fault. I don't even know what to say to this. I mean, I had no idea you would go that far to try and do something like this. I imagine that you don't have many ideas about anything. If I am being perfectly honest, you really need to do a better looking after your house. It wasn't that hard to find something that Brian had signed in his office, though, so I guess I have to hand it to you two for being so organized. But since you still haven't come home, I should take this time to say that you shouldn't bother coming back. And now you're really going to try and kick me out of my home as well. That's right, and there is nothing that you can do about it. I've already won. Okay, fine then. If that's really how you want it, then I guess I won't go back home. So there, this whole conversation is just so stupid anyways. Stupid enough for you to understand, at least. I never want to see you again!
Mom, what the heck is the matter with you? I just got off the phone with Kim and she told me all about what you two have been talking about. She told me that she never wants to go back home and that it's all your fault.
Oh, Brian dear, I'm sorry this is happening. Can you believe that mean awful wife of yours would say something like that? But don't worry, it's okay. I already sent out your divorce papers. Mama has taken care of all your problems for you, baby. In fact, I don't understand how you can take that tone with me right now. You ought to be thanking me for what I've done.
Divorce papers? Mom, what are you even talking about? Do you mean the forgeries that you submitted? Because that was also really not cool of you. I don't want a divorce from Kim. In fact, I want you to stop being so mean to her. Do you understand that?
She really has her claws sunk deep into you, doesn't she? All I did was do what I knew had to be done. Just think about it. She gave birth to twins. She's never going to clean up around the house again. Everything is going to fall on yours and my shoulders. The fact is that she is not cut out to be a wife or mother. I even offered to train her how to be a good wife for you, but instead of being happy and saying thank you, she just got more and more upset with me.
Of course she got more mad at you if you said something like that to her, Mom. I don't get what it is that you have against Kim, but you're always finding ways to avoid seeing her. But then you'll go and say all this horrible stuff to her. Don't you see that you're tearing our family apart?
What are you saying, son? I'm keeping our family together by pushing this awful no-good outsider out of our lives. Hey, Kim, what is the meaning of this, huh? You're trying to sue me now? That's right. I finally remembered the truth about what happened. I had forgotten for so long, but it finally came back to me. The truth? What are you talking about? What happened? I have no idea what this is about. But what I want to know is why your father thinks he can even sue me for. Don't tell me that you really don't remember any of this. Well, I suppose that can't be helped. Maybe I can try and jog your memory, though. You do remember when your husband's business was not doing so well, right? It even got on the verge of bankruptcy once. Well, you remember that it was my dad who stepped in and prevented it from falling into the red. You mean it was your dad that saved my husband's business? That's right. Your husband and my dad used to go to college together. They are still good friends even now. Do you not remember his giving a speech at our wedding? Even your husband talks about it from time to time with Brian and I. You did know that your husband's business was facing serious trouble, right? Well, I do remember hearing something about it. But if your father gave that money to my husband, then who does he think he is trying to sue us for it back? It's way too late for that. There has got to be a statute of limitations or something, right? Actually, this is all happening with the approval of both your husband and my dad, if you really want to know. Obviously, my father was furious when he found out you tried to break up Brian and I's marriage, and your husband called him right away to apologize in your place. I wonder if you'll be able to understand this really. You see, companies that get bailed out like this tend to lose something in the way of reputation. It becomes more difficult to do business, attract new customers, and has many other problems, so your husband also agreed to return the money in an out-of-court settlement. But for the sake of keeping the paper trail and a clean reputation, they wanted to go through the courts first, before agreeing to settle. But I'm looking at this notice and this is a huge amount of money! But whatever. Fine, have it your way. If this is the cost of finally severing our families, then so be it. No price is too much for that. But since this is all for posterity's sake anyways, I'm sure we can both agree that this fee doesn't actually need to be paid. I mean, how is it going to look if your dad is suing your ex-father-in-law, right? It would be bad for everyone involved. So maybe we should just cut our losses here. Besides, we're doing well enough that we don't need any more help from the likes of you. Are you sure about that? If you really wanted to completely sever each other, that would spell the end for your family's company. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Well, part of the aid that my dad agreed to provide was in the form of work contracts. So with this, your husband is about to lose one of his largest clients. And so what? I'm sure that he has plenty of others. Do you really still not get it? Your husband's business can't stay afloat with the work it gets from my father's company. If you really want to completely sever our family ties, then that means my dad is going to remove all of his support for your company. And for reference, he basically provides that company with half of their capital. The best thing that you could do to help the situation now would be to find a job yourself. What the heck are you talking about? Do you really think that I'm going to fall for any of that? Well, it's no joke, and we've literally talked about this before. Well, look, whatever happens, I can't risk the business, so I guess just this once I'll agree to forgive you for all that you've done. No, I'd rather just cut you out of my life. And that also means that I don't really have to care about anything you say to me. Have a nice life.
Hey, Kim, I just want to say that I'm so sorry for all of this. And also, my apology does not mean that I'm excusing anything my mom is doing. I feel awful that I can't help you more after you've just given birth.
Oh, Brian, none of this is your fault. I know that you're always trying to protect me from your mother, but with everything going on, I understand why it's difficult. She must have snuck into our house while you were visiting me in the hospital not long after I had given birth. But I know how hard you try to protect me, so please don't apologize. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry. I'm sorry because I never got along with your mom at all.
Oh, please, you know how she is. And I know how hard you tried to get on her good side, but she just does not like the thought of letting me go.
Brian, I think that your mom might actually really hate me.
I think she's just a very hateful woman. I mean, I remember how horrible it was growing up with her. She would never let me play outside and just heaped on extra work for me to do when I was a kid. And there would even be some days while Dad was away or something where she would send me to bed without dinner for not having all of my homework finished.
To do something like that to your own children, that's just so horrible.
I am glad that at least our dads get along. To be honest, if things were different, we might have met earlier because of that. But Mom was always keeping in the house and trying to swaddle me. I never had a chance to meet someone like you until I did.
I remember that you were so shy and unsure of how to talk to me that you wrote me a letter, but I also remember how happy I was to get it.
I just knew that was the best way to tell you how I felt about you.
From you. Well, you're an adult now, and you should be able to do what you want without worrying about what your mom thinks. In fact, I've always held that she treated you like that against her, ever since I first met her.
Well, thank you for always being in my corner. You know, I've always felt so bad for disliking my mom so much. I'm her son, and it shouldn't be like this. But I see now that she's never going to change. Lately, I've been thinking that you and I should just find a reason to move away from her. I just think that maybe at this point it would be what's best for the both of us. But I'm sorry I haven't been strong enough to say anything until now.
Brian, please. This is your mom we're talking about. I don't expect these emotions to come easy to you. But know that if you take over your dad's company, that you'll never fully be able to cut either of them off. I can't blame you for any of this.
Well, I think that I've had enough of being told what to do with my life. I think that you should live how you want to, and that I should get to do what I want to as well.
Brian, are you sure about this? You're giving up an entire company right now. You realize that, right?
Without your dad, the company wouldn't even exist anyways. I think it's better if it just disappears. It won't be either of our faults. My dad just didn't manage it well. But now that we have kids, we should use this as our chance to try and build the life that we want. By the way, how have all three of you been? Everyone doing well? I'm sorry that I haven't been over recently.
Well, thank you for asking. They actually both threw a huge tantrum at the same time today, and it was such a mess calming them down. When I get home, we're going to have to do this together. You know that, right?
Of course I do! I want to do it together with you, Kim! You're finally getting out this evening, right? Well, once I finish with this business here, I'll head over right away and start with the discharge paperwork.
Okay, Brian. I'll see you soon, honey. You evil, vile, horrible woman! You've completely destroyed my husband's business! Not only that, but you've turned Brian completely against me! He said he's embarrassed to have me as a mother! What did you do to him? I didn't do anything. Brian has always felt that way. Why do you think he wasn't going home as often? The truth is that he's lost his patience with you. What did you just say about my son? How dare you even imply that he might not love me? This is all your fault. You've brainwashed him to be your obedient little slave. I have not done anything of the sort. You need to stop looking for others to blame for your issues that are your fault. I know all about the kinds of things that you would do to Brian when he was little. You don't understand. I was just disciplining him. You have kids now. You'll understand one day. One day you'll know that I was right and that everything I've ever done has been for my family. I really hope that that day never comes, because that will mean that's the day when I agree that it's okay to let my own children go hungry. Do you know how lonely Brian felt as a child? You totally stifled his social life when he was little. All we want is to walk away without any strings attached. I mean, my dad didn't end up asking for the money back from your husband, did he? And just how did you know that? Because it was my dad doing the deal? Are you serious? Well, you can't blame all of this on me. I simply won't stand for that. But at least that means I'll have more to take from my husband when our marriage falls apart. I'm afraid that you really won't be getting anything from your husband when that happens. What are you talking about? He's got to keep all your money. That means that I'll at least get half of it. I'm afraid not. Brian is in control of most of the family's assets now. In fact, it was your suggestion that made it happen, remember? I have no idea what you're saying. I don't remember suggesting anything. Way back when my dad offered his help, you mentioned being worried about the tax burden that would come with it and started to transfer assets over to Brian to avoid the charges. Well, it's been a while since then, and now Brian is basically in control of the family's money. We all decided this together, remember? You thought it was a good idea since it would mean giving some more money to Brian as well. I think I do remember that actually, but was so long ago. And besides, that's still our money. It's just that Brian was holding on to it. I am afraid that that is not how it works. And besides, there is nothing left anyways. So basically, you've estranged your son and his wife with your horrible personality, and your husband is fed up with you as well. So, you can either walk away from this and avoid the heavy fines that my dad can bring down, or you can accept your fate. Oh, give me a break. You think that you can take me down? I am your mother-in-law! Right now, Sandra, you're nothing to me. Brian is not going to call you mom. I am not going to call you my mother-in-law, and our children are never going to call you grandma. And if you don't want to be charged for all your crimes, you'll keep your distance too. My crimes? What are you talking about? Well, you broke into Brian and I's house to forge a legal document. How does that sound? We've already notified the police and have lawyers on standby. This is all a joke. You would never try me for something like that. I'm Brian's mother. No jury would convict me. Well, okay. If you really think so, then have it your way. After that, Sandra got her divorce and was ultimately arrested and tried for breaking and entering and fraud. With this, the case was finally closed on the status of Brian and I's marriage, and it remains married. Without Sandra in my life, I feel less stressed. Brian and I have plenty on our hands at home with 2 newborns, but while we've been raising them, Brian has also been able to focus on his new career and recently got promoted. He still finds time, however, every evening after work to spend time with the children. I'm happy to say that where things stand right now, we're all one big happy family.